Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and today I want to talk about the most invasive xenos species the galaxy has ever seen, the Tyranids. The biomass eating, world destroying, just ugly looking bugs you will ever see or wish to see. Gargantuan monsters, absolutely terrifying, and the fact that the Imperial Guard fight them is kind of a testament to the Imperial Guard themselves. Anyway, the discussion for today, and I would really like to hear your thoughts on it. Are the Tyranids a material demon? Are they demons of the materium? Unlike the demons of the warp, the demons of the immaterium, are Tyranids actually demons but based in reality? Now, I know this sounds like a strange question and a strange thing to say, but there is a lot of similarities between the two. Well, the first one, which we can point at, is both the Tyranids and the demons are formed from a greater being. They are formed from, well, if really in simplistic terms, their own gods. I know the Norn Queen's not a god, and the Biofleet isn't really, the Hive Mind's not their god. We don't see them worship him, and there's no, well, they do have worship via the Genestealer cults, which actually adds a bit more to this. And the demons, of course, come from their own gods, from the Nurgling to the Great Unclean One, all being parts of Nurgle. So they do have that similarity. The other similarity, of course, is that they have unique jobs set for a purpose. No other species have this. I mean, even the orcs. You could have an orc boy ending up being a mech boy by tinkering. They can evolve and grow into different roles. Humans, especially Eldar as well. You could say Necrons, but they're automatons. And the Tau, of course, have their own classes. But, they can do other things outside their class. Not so severely, as in, you won't get someone from the air class suddenly becoming part of a water caste. But, most other species do have multi-roles in society. Unlike demons and the Tyranids, they are very unique in that state. And finally, we kind of have the absolute opposite goals. Well, opposite feeding methods, I should say. The obtaining of food and sustenance is always a goal for all species, but they do have their kind of opposites. The demons obviously feed on emotions and, the spiritual part of organics. Any form of emotion goes into the warp, and this feeds the demons and their gods. Tyranids basically feed on the organic part of it. It's like no food goes to waste. One side eats the spirit, one side eats the actual organic matter. So they both have that goal they both have a similar food source, but just the opposites. Like I said, one eats the matter, one eats the spirit. And of course, and finally, for this is not a similarity, but we cannot ignore the hole in the warp, the hole in the psyche, the black spot that the Tyranids cause when they're fighting. That big emptiness in the warp caused by the Tyranids. Something that blanks do, but not in any way near this scale. This seems to be more of a defensive mechanism against demons, because demons cannot really fight against Tyranids. We saw with the devastation of Bel. But when, one's greater than the other just ends up not working properly. And so this is a strange thing to have for a species which probably never even encountered the warp or warp shenanigans until they came into our galaxy. So why have this sudden defense for something they don't have? I mean, you could also talk about the poison dart frog being able to one-shot an elephant, even though there's no elephants in the Amazon. So that is a strange defense. So we have these similarities and things that kind of combine the two into one, and we see this a lot. There's very rarely many fights between demons and Tyranids. There's less fights between Necrons and Tyranids as well. But oddly, there do seem to be quite a few similarities. These are superfluous, of course, and very much up to conjecture, and that's basically my opinion at this point. However, my interest in this actually comes from a Horus Heresy book. No, not Feros, believe it or not, but another one, which is rarely talked about and is actually very, very good. It's a graphic novel called Macragges' Honour. Macragges' Honour is a fantastic story written by Dan Abnett, and it's basically the story of the Ultramarines fighting the Word Bearers after the Battle of Calth, and how Corferon escaped after the Imperator Invidious, well, silly word, was destroyed by the Macragges' Honour, and the Macragges' Honour got lost in the warp. It kind of fills that gap. Corferon escaped because he can actually cut reality with a dagger, and that's how he got away. So spoilers for that, sorry about that. It's an old book, and if you can pick it up, it's about, I've seen it for like 50 quid on eBay at the moment, and as much as I don't like scalping, I gotta say, graphic novels, especially old ones, do tend to go for quite a bit, especially those linked to a license, like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Resistance. Resistance is good as well, if you ever get a chance to read that, based on the PlayStation 3 game, also written by Dan Abnett. So that's the story. And during the story, Macragges' Honour is chasing the Word Bearers, and the Word Bearers literally cut a hole in reality to escape into the warp. And the Ultramarines decide that they're gonna just have to follow them straight in, and they do. They follow them straight into this tear in reality that was caused by Corferon. And during this time, they get attacked by demons. I know it's a bit silly, as they're in the warp, they get attacked by demons. The demons even got through the Gellerfield. Well, this bit's really interesting. The demons got through the Gellerfield. Not break it, it wasn't down, they got through it. And these demons, well, they look like Tyranids, very much so. The first one is a big one. Sorry about the bad photo. I couldn't find any PDFs or any images online. I actually had to take photos of my own book. I'm not scanning it, I'm sorry, because I don't want to damage my book. I just can't do that. It would mean I'd have to bend a spine, and that would make me cry, and I can't do that. As you can see, the first one, though, looks very demony, mixed Tyranidy. You can see the very much insectoid look, and you see the large face, the many eyes, the teeth, and including the little bladed talons, like scything claws, which Tyranids have. But you can argue this one, it's like a demon. It's very much similar, and it has a lot of demon aspects to it. So, like I said, this one, yeah, you can argue this is a demon. Even the first picture of it is very much demonic, though it does have that insectoid look. But then insects are a common fear among humans. I don't know why it would work against space marines, knowing no fear. But yeah, that is an argument which we could have. However, it was the second lot of demons that attacked. The ones that got through the Gellerfield. They didn't break the Gellerfield, they got through. The Gellerfield was up. It was, as far as it says, it's fully functional. And these ones got through. And here's an image of one. What does that look like to you? When I saw that, I went, that's a Genestealer. That there is a Genestealer. And it's got the claws, the 4 arms, the movement, the colour. Yeah, the face is a little different, but, Tyranids are Tyranids, and they can usually work. They change all the time. And this is early as well, as in 10,000 years ago. So, that's a Genestealer. And I just went, even when you look back and you see a pulled out picture of it, you see they have the bony skeleton, they have the skeleton back, the plates, like the Genestealers have. And yeah, they look like Genestealers. These are almost identical to them. The Tyranids don't have any form of emotion, so they were unknown to humans or any creature within the galaxy, so they would never be able to form on a fear that no one knew about. So why are they forming like this now? So there's 2 images which actually sort of back up what I say. Now this does come with a third question, which is this: how did they get out of the warp? Were they always in the warp? And did they come out? Of course, the Pharos beacon was lit, and the lies in the dark lit up and, started going towards it. Was that what got them here? Was that what actually managed to get them out of the warp to become material in entirety? These obviously aren't connected to any Chaos God. They aren't linked to Khorne, Nurgle, Demon, Slaanesh, or Tzeentch, I should say. So, how did they get out? Well, I don't know. I cannot answer that. I think there is many questions. There is theories that the Silent King created them. Maybe he didn't create them. Maybe he found a way of making these demons material and brought them out. Kind of a reverse engineering of what Catan did to the Necron, rather than, taking away the spiritual and eating that within the material realm, taking the spiritual out of the immaterial realm and making it physical here. Anyway, what do you guys think? What's your thoughts? I know this is just a bit of a silly video. It's just take it with a pinch of salt. It's just a little theory crafting I've seen and a couple of images which kind of got me thinking about this. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all again soon in the next one. Look, I know I said I wasn't going to do videos every day, but honestly, if something comes up in my mind, I'm going to talk about it. I have a stutter, that's why. I know you don't hear in its videos because I edit heavily. And thank you. I'll see you all again soon. Links to any games down below as always, and I'll Forbidden Planet as well, and my t-shirts, cups, comics as well. Everything down there as well. If you want to support the channel, click on those links, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.